Welcome to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be having a look at LINK. Let's get into the price action and see what's going on. Okay, so primarily what I'm still looking for here is the possibility that we are in a triangle from further back here. We've just been ranging really for pretty much a year now. What I'm looking at is the possibility that this is A, B, C, D, and then we're looking for an E wave. Looking to complete this move here. Looking for a continuation to the downside after that, looking for this target lower down here of this 4617 to this $3.69. So this would be the target area I'd be looking for as a fifth wave here, looking to actually break to the downside. Now, because it's so sideways and choppy here, we have to be just a bit careful. One thing I am looking out for in this is that we could have actually formed something within here as a diagonal, as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that could have actually completed, and this fourth wave could be here, and the fifth wave could be here. Now, this is possible, but I don't really like the internals that much, but it is technically possible. So we need to be just cautious of the fact that we could be looking for a bigger move to the upside. We'll discuss that within the video as well, but primarily what I'm expecting is to actually come back down and take out these lows of this 538. Now, if we stay within this range of this 538 to this 947, basically what I'd be looking for is this continuation here. In fact, actually there is an additional zone that I'd want to stay beneath, which would be the C wave high here, which would actually be this 879. Now, if we do just form an additional three-wave move to the upside here, ABC, towards this zone of this 779 to the 770, what we could see here is completion of this E wave. And then what we'd want to see is a five-wave move to the downside, taking out this B wave low. Until we actually take out this low, we need to be careful that this could actually look to continue. And it's possible we could even still be within the C wave. And what that could be is something like this, rather, where we are actually forming an internal triangle within the C wave, which from further back here would be A, B, C. So three-wave move up, three-wave move down would be what we want to actually complete this as a B-wave triangle. So if we remain even in a tighter range here between this zone of this 588 and this high here of this 879, what we could then find is that we actually just bounce around between here, form this E-wave, then have another five-wave move to the upside to complete the C wave over here. So this would make the C wave here. Then we would have an additional D and an E wave. So this is, this would mean that we're going to be going sideways for a long period of time if this is the case. I hope it's not, because, it would just be sitting here range bound for quite a long period of time if that's the case. Now, if we are looking at it in this way, where we could look for this D wave to complete, what I'm looking at here is I've hit one of the targets here of this as a B wave, this 0.618. So this D wave is 0.618 of this B wave. The alternative way of looking at it would be of the C wave, which it's also hit that zone of that 0.618. So I'm looking to see if we get a reversal to the upside here, but really until we actually start taking these highs, we need to be careful that this could actually look to extend down. Now, a key zone that I'd be looking for if we do look to push down deeper here would actually be towards this 567. That would be a 1-to-1 of this if we look at this as A, B, and C. So going to be keeping an eye out lower down here. If we do actually move down, that would also bring us potentially back into this trend line, which would be quite an interesting level. So we're going to have to just see if we do actually manage to break down deeper here. The thing is, within this, it has actually come down, and if I just throw this on here, we can see that we actually came down to that 0.618 already. So because of that fact, we could actually look for a reversal. So we need to just be aware that this could be ABC completed, and then, we're looking for another structure to the upside. Now, what I would be looking for here, if this ABC isn't completed, is basically, there's a couple of ways of looking at this. Let me come down into some more time frames. So potentially what we could do is we could treat this as A, B, C, D, E as a triangle, and then we could be actually completed. And then now we're going to start to look to move away from this zone. If this is the case, basically what we'd be looking for is holding this zone of this 621. And what we'd want to form is good five-wave structure to the upside, three-wave move back to the downside, and then continuation up. Given the current structure that we have here, a 1.618 target would actually be up here towards this 714. If we start to break back above these levels, what this would indicate is that, we have a five-wave move potentially. if we find support again at this 685. So this would just be based off of moving to this 1618. These obviously can always extend. There could be a series of 1s and 2s in here. This could be 1 2 1 2 1 2, in which case this would look to push us up higher than this level that I'm looking at a 1.618. But ideally what we'd want to see is, if even then, would be looking for something like this, and then we'd be looking for that additional leg within it like this. But this is going to be key. We want to get back above this high of this 728 for this confirmation that we don't have extension to the downside. Now, another way we can look at this, instead of looking at this as a triangle, is that possibly this move is not completed yet. So what I would be looking out for here would be the possibility that actually we have another 1-2 here, and then potentially that this move is also not completed yet. We could argue that this is 1 2 3, looking for a fourth wave here, and then a fifth wave down to come still. Now, that would potentially look to take us towards this zone here of this $6.07. If we do start to break down here in another 5-wave sequence, that would then put us in line with this idea of having this as a third wave over here, and then looking for an additional fourth and a fifth to the downside. Now, the 1-to-1, like I said, is towards this zone here of this 587, which would also be tied into the idea of having this additional drop here, where we could look to target out this box of this 5966 to this 580. Now, invalidation of this would come by crossing back above this wave 2, which would be this 728. So, this is the possibility that we could look for, a little bit more downside here if we're still looking for that possibility of a triangle where we're forming that D wave. If we actually break down deeper, though, we need to bear in mind that invalidation of this comes by crossing this $5.38 lower down here. That would invalidate this idea of looking for this D wave. Once we cross this low, that would invalidate that possibility. And if we do extend down past this level towards this 1-to-1, what we could then find is that we find another 3-wave move up here for an E wave. We'd have to adjust this target at that point, but basically that would potentially look to complete this, and then we could actually look to break down in that 5-wave move. Like I said, there was a bullish potential within these counts. So what I'm looking out for here, because of the fact that we have this weird structure here that could be a diagonal, it's possible what we could actually have within this is that this move here could be a wave 1 or an A wave. This could be a B wave, which could actually be completed already. Now, the 0.618 has been met, like I said, where this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where we look at this as A, B, C. If we do come down deeper here, potentially towards this 570, which would be that 1-to-1, what we could then see is we could come back and actually retest this 0854. I'm going to guess this is quite close to that zone. Yeah, it is. But also here, lower down at this 594, we do have this 786 retracement, which would actually tie in with the idea of testing this swing low here. So, if we do break down a little bit more here and we actually test this zone, we need to be on the lookout for that possibility of having another rally to the upside. Now, that 1-to-1, depending on how deep we come here, would be towards this zone here of this $9.63. So if we just get a move like this, where this would be A, B, and C to the upside, then that would just be a corrective move to the upside, and we'd have to be careful, because then what this could mean is that from further back here, what we have is something like this, where W, X, and Y, something like that, and this would just be a bigger corrective structure here, and then we'd look to break down. Alternatively, if we do get a push up higher here, this $12.63 would be a zone that I'd be particularly interested in, because if we do move up into this area of this 1263, what we'd have to be looking out for is another 3-wave move to the downside, potentially towards this 963, and then looking for continuation to the upside, looking for a move that could take us towards this zone of this 1518 to this 1365 as a impulse. So if we do get an impulsive move to the upside like this, what we would have to be looking out for then is the possibility of coming back down and forming a wave 2, looking at something like this, where this whole move would become a wave 1, this would become a wave 2, and then we could be looking to actually progress to the upside in a bigger wave 3. So that would be the bullish case here, but I'm just not seeing it within the count at the moment. If we are looking to potentially break out from here, what I would want to see is something like this. So this count would be valid for as long as we hold this $6 41, but really we could actually technically make another low here, but just maintain this low here of this 631, and it would still be valid. The fact that we've come down here into this 702 already, if this is looking to develop as an impulse, I'd want to see this start to move away now. And what would we want to see here is basically this move be a 1, come back down potentially for a 2 here, 3, 4, and a 5, looking to actually push us up towards a 694, and then looking for that additional 4th wave to the downside here, and then looking for another 5-wave move to the upside, which could look to target this zone here of the $7.08 to the $7 region. Now, if we do get a push up into this zone, what we'd be looking out for is the possibility of additional 4ths and 5ths to the upside, which could look to push this move higher up. Now, if we do develop a bigger 5-wave structure like this to the upside, this move could effectively become an A wave or a wave 1. We'd look for then another 3-wave move to the downside, possibly finding support in this range here, and then looking for a 3rd, 4th, and a 5th if it's going to become a 5-wave move, or alternatively another 3-wave move down and another 5-wave move to the upside. So this would tie into that idea of the triangle where we're looking for that E wave. So if we see just a 3-wave move up like this, I would be cautious that we could actually start to break down in a bigger way from that. However, within that bullish case, if we do see a 5-wave move here develop to the upside like this in a bigger way, what this could actually be is that wave 1, in which case we could be looking for that wave 2, and then we'd be looking to actually come back up here and break these highs of this 879 for further confirmation that that we have that possibility of breaking out of this range. Though really, until we actually break out this 947, we need to be cautious that this could still be, like I said, a bigger triangle here where this is A, B, C. We get a 3-wave move up for that D wave E. Then we push up for the C wave. This would then become A. This would become B. This would become C. And we could still look to actually continue to progress within this range as a bigger triangle. So we need to just be patient with this. Like I said, it's not. There is potential here for breaking to the upside, but until we actually do, we just need to be aware of that bearish count where we could actually still see another leg to the downside here. And then once we start to break down and hit, if we did break down one more time in a 5-wave structure, we'd have to be on the lookout for that possibility of that 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5-wave move. And then, if we start to do that, we need to be careful that this isn't an additional 1, 2, then we get a 3, 4, and a 5 to the downside. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. Everyone have a great day. See you next one.